I am Alfred Hitchcock. Today we have a series of events and a podcast called the Rage Select Community Podcast. What ghastly sorts of things they will be up to, no one knows. With us today is Charles Armstrong.
Playing the role of Rod Sterling.
Indeed. And with us, Fernando Rodriguez.
I am George Romero, and I have been past my prime since the 80s.
And with
Consider, if you will, a man who doesn't know how to do an impression.
Exactly.
I do not believe... I believe that would be with all of us as an example.
Worst intro ever. We did it, guys. Congratulations.
I was like, the only thing I could do was my white guy voice.
It's kind of funny, because, when people do an Alfred Hitchcock impression, they're like, "Good evening, I am Alfred Hitchcock," or whatever, but it's like, no, that's not really how the guy talked. He was kind of an asshole, too.
Kind of an asshole?
Okay, no, he was a straight-up asshole.
Dude was a sociopath.
No, he was a straight-up asshole.
He was the Bill Cosby of his day.
Yeah, like if I was actually going to do an impression, it would have been, and here's Fernando Rodriguez, a minority. If I was trying to actually do a good Alfred Hitchcock impression.
If you're trying to do a good Alfred Hitchcock, you'd be forcing yourself on every short, attractive blonde woman that came across.
True.
Exactly. Just like Bill Cosby.
I'd be...
Hey, at least Bill Cosby had the decency to let him go unconscious before he did it.
Next week, my Bill Cosby impression.
I think we've done enough of Bill Cosby impressions for a lifetime on this podcast.
No.
We're going to do the podcast with the raping and... Wait.
Okay, so apparently we haven't done enough.
No.
Wait,
It
there's no
never
drugs in this
ends.
podcast? Oh, well.
Theo!
The chloroform! That's horrible.
This is fucking
That's horrible. That is genuinely
Erica's
horrible.
dad has been disgraced. That's sad.
Okay, but hello, yes, this is the Rage Select Community Podcast, and like I said, we have Charles Armstrong and Fernando Rodriguez today, and we have quite a bit of news.
We promise you guys, this show is about video games, not about rape.
Well, it's mostly...
a little about it.
Yeah, it's little. But, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll just jump right into the news, and like we usually do. So... where do you guys want to start? I mean...
I'd say first let's just dive into the big controversy. Just plunge headfirst into it.
The biggest one? Okay.
The big one.
Alright, so the mod thing.
Yup.
Okay. So, this is really shitty. So basically what it is Steam. Steam. Everyone fucking knows Steam. If you've ever played PC or you've ever played a console, really, you'll at some point hear about Steam.
Our Lord and Savior Gaben.
Yeah. Oh my God, have you seen those pictures now? It's like they take the picture of the fallen god thing from Superman versus Batman, and they put
the best one I saw was somebody actually went in and photoshopped the statue to have Gabe Newell's head.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my favorite one is the one where they take, you remember those Jesus candles that you see in, every sort of Christian shop or any sort of...
yeah, and they post in
Gabe
Gabe and
Newell's
Steve
face.
and PC Master Race's face. Yeah, those are the best. If nothing else, you have to admire the ingenuity and the sheer spontaneity of these fucking pictures that people post up. But anyway, so Steam is offering modders the ability to sell mods on the Steam Workshop, specifically regarding the game Skyrim. Here's the thing, though. 75% of the profit is going to Valve and the game publishers, and the remaining 25% go to mod creators. And the way that is distributed is decided by the publisher / or developer of the game. So for this scenario, that would mean, for this instance, it would mean Valve is getting 30%. Apparently, this is what they'll always be, is what's always going to happen in general, is that they'll always get 30%, apparently. Bethesda is getting 45%. The modder is getting 25%. The latter of those two is been decided by Bethesda, and apparently payouts are to be held until the modder receives $100 of profit.
Yup.
And sorry, one last thing. And apparently Valve has implemented a Steam Workshop refund policy that allows refund requests within 24 hours of purchase, which will be credited to the Steam wallet. This is a bad idea all around, considering we already had something that actually more or less worked, which was donations. Because if you go to something like Nexus Mods, which is a really cool mod site where you can get like all the mods that you want, they already had a donate option there for modders.
And there's also a subscription-based service for Nexus Mod as well, but that's more for the site in general.
Yeah, that's more for like, hey, you want to watch these guys and see which ones they're going to do. But they could easily have, these modders could easily post in a link where it's like, hey, here's a link to our PayPal or our Patreon or Kickstarter, what have you, whatever thing to get money funneling through. If you guys want to donate, donate. Now, people are talking like, well, this is for... Now, there have been a couple of arguments for this where it's like, oh, well, this is for modders and everything. If this was for modders, why would it be only 25%? Imagine Armstrong made a mod for $1, right? That would mean he only got 25 cents, and he wouldn't even get it until he got $100 worth of profit.
Well, not only do we have the issue of just like the high percentage of market value being going to the publisher and the developers, it's like, okay, when you get down to this is a legal nightmare because like we just saw recently with a case where one of the mods was taken off the store and given out refunds, is that they use part of modding that they use other people's mods and they implement it in their mods, and then when you're charging money for it, then the legality of now you got to split the profit with them, but if you don't do it correctly, they can sue you and yada yada yada. So It's like you're just clogging up the well here. You're just making this like, if it's free, then you don't really have this legal nightmare to deal with. But now that you're putting money into what has always been a free thing, mods for the most part, you're just complicating things.
Mods have been free for like
decades.
God, yeah, it's probably since the concept
almost as long
mods.
as PC gaming.
Yeah, like probably since the concept of modding has been around for PCs. And like people are like, oh, but you can still get free mods. Yeah, but this is gonna be like how phones were, like phone games, where it's like, oh, this really popular mod is getting like a lot of traction. Well, we're gonna rip this off and do a much worse, lesser clone of this mod, and people who don't do their research are going to just buy this just because it's like, oh, well, this looks like that mod that's free, and that's a huge problem.
And I don't know if we mentioned it yet, but so far the only game that you can buy mods for on Steam Workshop is Skyrim.
Right, and that's where it should stop, honestly. Not even stop. That's where that needs to get deleted. I mean, this is a serious issue.
You say it should stop, but it's a matter of... And people are saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal. Of course it's a big of a deal. You don't have a giant dam, and then you kick open one part of the dam. Just like, oh, no, it's fine. It'll hold up. Yeah. And no, this isn't going to affect anyone else.
The thing is, it's a small minority, from what I'm seeing, of people who are for this. Whenever I look, it's a whole lot of people who are like, this is a bad idea. This is a terrible idea. There should have been donations. This isn't good. I see this everywhere, from Reddit to freaking Steam comments itself to YouTube. I'm seeing this everywhere where this is being posted. Forbes, the news site, brought in an interesting thing where it's like, yeah, like this is the wrong sort of thing to do. I mean, this is going to be like the Guinness World Record holder for most microtransactions or some shit.
Like, this is the weird thing about the video game industry, that we see stupid things like that. Like, we don't see this thing with movies where you can be like, oh, here's our fan edit of a movie and we're going to distribute that for a price. No, this is something that only exists in the video game industry but because every other industry knows this is a bad idea to do. This is a legal nightmare in the worst case. I don't like. I am surprised there's not more lawsuits being brought up in this, as just because.
Oh, I'm sure they're being drawn up at the moment.
Oh yeah, no one's gonna go for this. This is insane. No one in their right mind is going for this. I mean, it's like, this is a bad idea. How can we stress that this isn't like, oh, we don't like change, so we're going to act like 5-year-olds. No, this is people saying with legitimate concern, this is a bad idea in so many ways, from a legal standpoint, an ethical standpoint, a creative standpoint. There's nothing good about this, because it's like, okay, for one, if you bought a mod and it didn't work, and it was like, oh, we'll fix that later, and they never fix. They have no actual obligation to fucking fix it.
Although
These mods, there's nothing that would stop them from not doing it and keeping your fucking money, other than, oh, you're refunding this. And the response of Valve of saying, oh, we expect the community to police themselves. I don't know if you know this, but people are kind of stupid.
I think it's also not only that, but it's funny that this is the only thing that Steam will offer a refund for. But it's just like, okay, probably like most people will police themselves well, but if you're a modder and you're just like, I'm gonna knowingly release a broken product and then just make a quick get money and get rich scheme like that, they're like, oh, here's Horse Armor 2.0 and it's black now.
Yeah.
But it's completely broken.
Yeah. Well, the thing is like that shit, like you see Horse Armor show up in Skyrim for mods, but the difference is that they're free. There's like a lot of really cool looking armor that shows up that's free.
Yeah, it's
and is easy to use. But with this shit where it's like, oh hey, you know, we're charging you like $1 or 25 cents or whatever. This is a fucking awful idea. I mean, there's already like a petition. And the last time I checked, which is like, let me check it now, because I'm honestly curious how many fucking people actually signed this fucking thing.
We've known before, petitions always work on the internet.
94,000 people. 94,000 fucking people. It just shows this isn't like, oh hey, you know, we don't, like I said, it's not like we don't like change because change is always bad and shit. No, there are people, a lot of people, that are totally not for this, that think this is a generally bad idea and is just... I mean, if this was donation, fine. But you know there's going to be those assholes who are going to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to charge this ridiculous amount of money for something, or I'm going to screw over this modder, and I'm going to rip off his idea. I mean, even... what is it?
This opens it to a whole new level of what we see with major tech companies of patent trolling. If
right,
we have this, if there is some kind of legislation implemented in this to get this service even up and running, then you're going to have people claiming to the most successful new mods. You're going to have people claim, oh, well, this mod uses my mod over here, and even if they don't have a rightful claim to it, then they could theoretically get that other mod taken down or get some of the profits pulled from it just by claiming, oh no, this uses part of my mod.
Right, yeah. Well, actually, there was do you guys know what the Sky UI is?
I'm vaguely aware of it.
It's a mod for Skyrim, which basically makes the PC version of Skyrim the user interface a lot easier, honestly. The author of it said that its 5.0 version would be behind the paywall. But here's the thing. His mod uses a thing called Tweenlight. And this thing, Tweenlight, cannot be used for commercial purposes. You would need to buy a license valid that is like $150 a month. And he's not the only one developer. Like, basically, it would add up to $500 a month to actually use this commercially behind the paywall.
Jesus.
It's one fucking mod that just changes the UI. So it's like he would have to charge for him to get 25%. He would need to even get this $500 a month, he would need to charge what, 200?
So basically, from what we now realize, is that the PC is technically the master race in overcharging you for some bullshit. But
I didn't say it.
No.
Let the record know.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm just gonna cut it out. Don't worry. I'm not letting this whole master race thing get in the fucking way. I'm not even letting that shit start.
Oh, as long as we're cutting shit out, go suck a dick, PC people.
Yeah, no, I'm cutting that out too. Or actually, no, I'm probably gonna keep that in. Make sure you get the shit.
Right.
But no, it's like this shit. All this shit is bad. You know, for this microtransactions, fucking what have you. This premium, all this shit is awful and should not continue under any circumstance. I mean, like phone shit. Okay, that's fine. That's phone shit. You know, but on your consoles, on your PCs, your gaming PCs, no. This is not all right, you know. This should not have even. None of this crap should have spread this far, you know.
I'm doing a call to action here. Our listeners, all 40 of you, don't buy this shit. Don't support this shit. Go tell Bethesda and Steam to eat a bag of dicks for this stupid ass bullshit.
Well, it's like I already said. What? There's already like a fucking 95,000 people who are like, yeah, this is fucking bullshit.
Yes, but petitions don't work. Action does. Don't buy this. Tell people.
I would say some petitions work. I mean, shit. You fucking look at, what was it? What was that Obsidian game that came out?
What Obsidian?
What was it? Pillars of Eternity? They had a petition for that to change that shit, and it was like, alright, fine. But people, if you own a PC, don't do this shit. Don't buy into this whole mod thing. I mean, I will admit, though, the one funny thing that has come out of this, other than the pictures that show up, which are freaking hilarious, by the way, are the mods, the free mods, that are basically a fuck you.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I just found one, which was like, that replaces the walls of, like, towns with, like, Gabe Newell's face with the giant money marks all over the fucking place. That's, like, the only funny thing that I could even see about this kind of shit.
It is a clusterfuck.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm glad I'm not a part of.
Yeah. What the fuck?
So, I guess since we covered the big downer of gaming news, let's talk about something a lot more exciting, which is the new Marvel deal with Telltale to create a game or games.
This is honestly worse, I think, than...
Oh, boy. All right.
Ryan, I'm going to work at you. I swear to God.
So, all we know about this is that Marvel made a deal. Telltale Games, who made Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, Tales from the Borderlands, they announced a deal with Marvel Entertainment, and the first project to come out of this deal is going to be in 2017. 2017. Because whenever I literally know nothing else about it, and now we get to hear Ryan shit on good things that everybody loves.
Yeah, because when I want a Spider-Man game, I don't want to be swinging around beating bad guys. I want to click one button every time when it's a conversation entirely. Or I want to keep
the fuck says it's going to be Spider-Man? And I can bet your ass it's not going to be Spider-Man.
Okay, Luke Cage.
This is smaller characters.
Captain America.
No, man, you're thinking too big. You need to start thinking She-Hulk. You're the Wasp.
Yeah.
Spider-Woman.
I've always wanted a She-Hulk game where instead of beating the shit out of people, I just talk.
Most of the time, She-Hulk isn't beating out people. Most of the time, Jennifer Walters is in the courtroom being a badass, who's also She-Hulk.
Honestly, though, yeah, I am actually interested in how this is going to turn out. Like, I am, honestly. I'm fucking around, but yeah, I am actually kind of looking forward to this. I think this would be interesting.
Or if you watch the stupid Hulk Agents of Smash, where she's a Daredevil stunt double or whatever, or some stupid shit, instead of being a lawyer.
We don't talk about that shit. We don't talk about that which will not be named.
We don't talk about the shit that Jeff Loeb creates.
Exactly. Okay, I'm gonna say, like, I'm sorry that his kid died and all, but damn, dude, you really need to, like, up your, like, creativity or some shit.
Apparently he fucking doesn't, because they keep giving him promotions and giving him more money.
Well, that's probably because, like, whenever they're like, okay, we gotta fire this guy, and he's like, hey, yeah, I'm just mourning my dead kid, and it's like, shit.
That was years ago.
I'm like, dude, get over it. You can make another one.
Jeff Loeb was the one who did, what was it? Ultimatum, wasn't he?
I think so.
God, the thing that basically...
Now he's running all of Marvel's television division.
He's been running it for years, technically, and it's partly... He's part of the reason why I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has been having a hard time, because you need somebody better to steer the ship.
Yeah. He's also the reason fucking Spectacular Spider-Man is gone, so fuck him.
And Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
And and Wolverine and the X-Men.
Everything I love must die.
Yeah. The three really good, like, after so long, the three really amazing animated Marvel shows, and they're all fucking gone within, like, a season or two.
The only thing that can compete with, like, Bruce Timm's animated universe, they just went, you're gone.
Like the only stuff that was on the level of Bruce Timm shit, and was like, nope, we're getting rid of this shit after a season.
We're gonna get rid of Spectacular Spider-Man and do Ultimate Spider-Man with Drake from Drake and Josh.
Yeah, a far less superior version of Spider-Man.
The unsuperior Spider-Man, if you ask me. Waka Waka.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I was right. Yeah, he did do Ultimatum.
You know what? I there's in development.
God.
They're putting Joe Quesada as the head of Marvel TV.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't get this out of my head. Jeff Loeb was the guy who made up the concept of the Blob eating the Wasp.
What are you talking about? That was a great idea.
Let's just move past that.
And Giant Man eating the Blob.
Wait, I just wonder, is Joe Quesada still in charge of Marvel Comics?
I think so. You can look it up.
Maybe, yeah, I think, yeah.
Fuck Marvel.
Jesus Christ.
Like, you're still better than DC when it comes to comics right now, but why?
Yeah, but they're... I'm gonna say, Marvel's been doing some dumb shit every now and then. I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as DC, but they're fucking up here and there.
I think what's Convergence right now? They're trying to be like, oh, now we're canceling the New 52 with Convergence, and I'm like,
you guys really should not have even done the New 52. Honestly, in the long run, like, I think the only one that I really enjoyed was Swamp Thing.
It's not Joe Quesada. It's this guy named Axel Alonso.
Axel Alonso?
Yep. I'm looking at what he's done right now. Keep talking about other things.
Alright, well, I mean, I guess that's really it. I mean, that I can think of. I mean...
Well, let's have a little fun experience here. What do you think would make the best character to translate into a Telltale game? I think She-Hulk would work.
I think She-Hulk is already
She-Hulk would honestly be the only one I can think of, because, like Armstrong said, it's like, oh yeah, she mostly talks, like, in, courtroom and stuff. Maybe Daredevil, because you could do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
More or less. No, not the Punisher.
Hawkeye.
Really? You think Hawkeye?
With the Matt Fraction, if you go base it off the Matt Fraction run?
Maybe. Yeah. I would like a Hawkeye game that's like Sniper Elite. Except instead of a sniper rifle, you're using fucking arrows and shit. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Sniper Elite is just like seeing how that shit penetrates somebody. I don't think you can have...
fair point.
I don't know. I think you could do that.
Well, I don't know, because the way they set up their heroes, Hawkeye doesn't really kill all too much.
Okay, I've been hearing this a lot, like, they don't kill in the Marvel Universe. They totally fucking kill in the Marvel Universe.
Bullshit, they totally, yeah.
And I don't know where everyone's been getting this they don't kill, because they've totally been missing then the scenes where Captain America's firing guns, Black Widow's firing guns, Hawkeye pierces people with arrows. In Iron Man 3... Iron Man fucking Tony Stark uses a gun. He fucking takes one of his repulsor blasts and shoots a dude straight in the face with it.
Oh yeah, there are totally people dying.
Cinematic universe they kill, but I'm talking about in the comic book universe.
Oh, okay.
I would even
Yeah,
argue.
cinematic universe. That's what I was talking about. People were saying they don't kill in the
Okay,
cinematic universe. They totally fucking kill in the cinematic universe.
Captain
all the
America
time.
kicks somebody into a fucking airplane.
I would even argue in the comics that they
Yeah.
still.
He kicks people into turbines. I'm like, there ain't no like, oh, I'm knocked out. You're a billion pieces at that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
But-
Yeah. I would honestly go for a Hawkeye thing. God,
You know,
yeah.
You could turn Jessica Jones, but that would just pretty much be the Wolf Among Us at that point.
Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Oh my God, yeah, fuck yeah, Moon Knight. Fucking, you could make that like kind of a psychological horror in some way,
Yes.
where he's breaking the fuck down. He's imagining these fucking
Actually-
gods talking, this skeleton god talking to him and shit. Yeah,
I
I'd
would-
be down with that shit.
That pretty well for a Telltale game.
Like, I'd be down for that.
I mean, they can do wacky comedy with like Tales of the Borderland, and honestly, I think that's one of their stronger suits. So I could see a Deadpool game working perfectly for Telltale.
Yeah, but they don't own Deadpool. So that's the other thing. That's what we need to question is this going to be canon with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or is this just going to be funny, wacky? Because if it's just Marvel as a whole, then they can do whatever the fuck character they want.
Yeah.
We can have a goddamn Wolverine game.
Yeah, I don't want to see Wolverine.
I don't.
No, I don't either. It's like, because I mean, come on, Wolverine is all about cutting fuckers up and killing a whole bunch of people.
I mean, if you remember Wolverine, the X-Men, he's like, I'm gonna have my claws out when I fight somebody, but I'm never gonna stab you with it. But if it's a robot, I'm gonna slash the shit out of it.
Well, that's one of the cool things about, what was it, X-Men Origins Wolverine, the video game, was that you had Wolverine.
Okay, Jesus Christ. I was like,
No,
I'm not
no,
going to say
you
anything.
gotta let me finish. No, it's like, in the video game was fucking awesome, because you had blood, gore, you had Wolverine cutting everyone apart, and gory detail, and it was a really fun game.
One of my favorite parts of that game was that the more you fucked up you got in the game, the more like you just see like his limbs just.
Well, yeah, because it's the whole.
Him. But yeah, I'm excited for this. I can see the possibilities. There's a lot of cool characters they can use. Preferably the street level characters I would see working the best with this. Cause
Yeah, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, Luke Cage,
even Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. You see, I'd like an Iron Fist game that it was like
I want an Iron Fist.
it was like
game.
Batman Arkham Knight or Arkham Asylum or something, where it's like kung
Just
fu and shit.
Behind Sleeping Dogs to do an Iron Fist game.
Yeah, it's like Sleeping Dogs.
Oh.
I already said this, but I want an Iron Fist TV show.
Well, they're already doing one, so.
Yeah, but I want the guy who makes the raid to do
Don't,
that.
you know what,
I
Ryan?
want that guy.
I saw you put that comment. I'm like, this motherfucker. I told this motherfucker about this idea like a month ago, and he's taking it like his own.
Don't remember that, so sorry.
So good.
I dropped that.
I was like, Garth Evans should totally do this.
Okay. All right. Anyway, back to the video game
Well,
stuff.
speaking of, I guess we're kind of done with that. Unless you guys wanted to say one last closing thing.
No.
So speaking of the Sleeping Dogs, just terrible segue, but turns out Square Enix is going to host their own E3 conference this year.
And we have absolutely no information other than that.
Well, we can speculate, goddammit.
Yeah, so what do they got? Obviously, they're going to show off Final Fantasy 15. Most likely, they're gonna,
Kingdom Hearts.
I don't know. I don't know about maybe Kingdom Hearts. Maybe they'll show like a new trailer. I don't know if they'll show Tomb Raider. Maybe they'll have a longer demo or something. But I would assume Microsoft's going to have a bulk of Tomb Raider stuff. Rise of the Tomb Raider. Maybe we'll see the new Hitman game.
I know we're going to
down
see more
for
of
that.
doing.
I actually really enjoyed the last Hitman game, because it was like this whole B film kind of feeling that they went for.
Yeah, I liked it too, but apparently they're going back to the old Hitman style for this one.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Because I don't think it made enough money.
It didn't. Except it was the highest selling game in the franchise, but...
No, I would say that's like enough to keep going, but apparently not.
But I just wonder, why did they show Deus Ex earlier when they're going to do an E3 conference. I think it would be a smarter idea to release that during E3 so they can get that E3 boost.
It's probably just to, it's probably one or two things. One, they assumed it was going to get leaked eventually because most things get leaked nowadays, so they wanted to get ahead of it. Two, if you have all of your news coming out at E3, then some of the stuff gets lost in the shuffle. And this way they can announce it beforehand to get everyone excited about it, then show a new trailer. Well, they can save the rest of the conference for, like, actual new stuff, because, of course, they're going to show something we haven't heard about, or at least try to give something we haven't heard about.
Right.
Yeah, because I remember they said that earlier this year that there was a new game that was a JRPG that they have yet to announce.
Right.
So that's probably for
Yeah, they still have that unannounced JRPG that's scheduled for 2016 that we haven't heard anything about.
What was that, like, old school JRPG that they published that everybody loved? What was it?
Like, which one? Can you repeat that?
The JRPG that they published that was like an old school turn-based JRPG that they published like last year or something.
You mean the one that was on the 3DS?
Yeah.
Bravely Default?
Yeah, it's probably.
I was gonna say, is that the one you're thinking of?
Yeah.
Was that Square Enix?
I think Square Enix published it. They didn't develop it.
Well, I know that's already got a sequel, Bravely Second, that's out in Japan.
No, developer and publisher is Square Enix and
okay. Yeah.
And
So
Silicon Studio.
Yeah, they'll probably show that at E3, Bravely Second.
Yeah,
I need to seriously play that.
Important.
Yeah.
They bring it to the PlayStation Vita because the Vita is sorely lacking of games.
Yeah. At this point, it's like you might as well buy a 3DS when it comes to those portable game systems because there's so much more games.
The only reason I want a Vita, and I'm gonna wait till it's like $150 or like until it's like on Black Friday for like 120 or something,
right,
is because of the remote play and the cross-platform play.
Yeah.
Because I got a PS4, and it'll be nice to have that your saves transfer over, and I can just play Shovel Knight on the go.
Yeah, that would be my thing. Also, because I'm a real big fan of Persona 4 Golden. So
I need to play that too. That's another reason, so I can play Persona 3 and Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah.
Oh, Persona 3 Portable, which is the best version of Persona 3 in my opinion. Except that you're missing a part of the game that's only available in Persona 3 FES.
That's so dumb when they split game shit up like that. Yeah, well, I hope that we will get a sequel to Sleeping Dogs that isn't that shitty PC-only multiplayer Triad Wars garbage.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that. Has there been anything about that or no?
I don't know, because I kind of stopped paying attention to it when it wasn't called Sleeping Dogs 2.
Although I do hope that instead of it being called Sleeping Dogs 2, they just call it Sleeping Dogs with a D. What is it? DWAGS.
DAGG.
That's how they spell it. That's how they call the sequel. I hope that's what they call it.
That would be pretty funny, actually. It doesn't look like... Oh, wow. Triad Wars has scheduled for... It doesn't even have a solid release date, so maybe they'll give us a solid release date for that.
I do wonder, though, if Atlas, which will they just develop in... Would they show, like, the Atlas stuff in, like, the Square Enix, or would they do it in Sony, I wonder?
Probably Squeenix. Or maybe Sony. It depends, like... I'm sure they're gonna have Persona 5 as part of Sony as part of their conference, because that's a Sony exclusive franchise. But smaller stuff probably Squeenix will pick up for there.
Oh, I can't wait to see Catherine too.
I actually wouldn't be opposed to that.
Yeah, I would like it too, but I'm just like, I wonder where would they go with that, because they kind of, if you play the end of Catherine, I'm like, where would they go with a sequel? They would have to do it with a whole other, like,
It'll be just a different, it won't be called Catherine 2, it'll just be called, like, Lucy, or, like, Beth or something.
To be in it? Oh my god.
Joanne?
Oh my god, it's gonna have, the chick from Mad Men,
Ooh.
Christina Hendricks. Joan,
yeah.
I would play that game.
Just call the game Christina Hendricks, and it'll sell millions.
Yeah. You know what?
Christina Hendricks and her
with
ass.
Oculus Rift support.
With Oculus and Coculus Rift support.
Rated A for adults.
The first A-rated game to sell 6 million copies.
I would have mine pre-order right now, but no. Actually, Christina Hendricks was in the Need for Speed game. One of the Need for Speed games. The one with all the QuickTime events.
Oh. Okay. I don't play racing games.
I don't, racing games.
What's the point of putting actors in video games? Like, unless you're doing mocap, and even then.
I think it's like, oh, hey, that guy's there, awesome, and that's really it.
I mean, unless you're gonna get their licensing rights to show Steve Buscemi as one of the monsters in Bloodborne, then what's the point?
That's cold, but I like it.
Or, bring Jared Leto into it in his fucking goddamn show.
Oh, God, are we gonna talk about it?
Can we please? Oh my God, it looks fucking awful. It looks like he fell.
I'm not gonna say it looks
it's a hot topic.
awful. You know what it looks like? It looks like if either of you have read the Brian Azzarello Joker comic, like I think it's like a 4-issue miniseries. It looks like the Joker from that.
Let me see, Brian Azzarello Joker.
I think one of the Rage Select listeners posted something like, "Oh, that the new Jared Leto, he looks like the Joker from the Loco Steve version of Batman."
Okay, I'm looking at this and I can kind of see that, but it's like.
It's more the way the Joker acted in that comic. He was like hanging out with, because let's just say it. It looks like they're making this Joker more of like a gangster, like a street level like guy, and that's the way that he acted in the Azzarello comic.
Okay, it looks so fucking weird. I remember there was a Twitter where it was like, it looks like he fell into a vat of Hot Topic.
I do think, like, if he was just a little bit fatter, I would think he would be a juggalo.
He looks like a fucking juggalo. I mean, he looks creepy, but it's that kind of creepy where it's like, oh God, it's a juggalo. Avert your eyes.
He looks creepy, but in the way that, like, I could beat his ass if he was...
Yeah.
He doesn't look intimidating. He doesn't...
Go ahead.
He just looks like some guy, like a really bad, like wigger kind of, like, I'm hard, I'm like, whatever.
He looks like he's trying to be intimidating a little too hard, but you would just want to beat the shit out of this person if you actually met him.
I mean, I thought because they got Jared Leto that they were going to make him more of the Joker from the Dark Knight Returns?
Really effeminate and...
I thought that's what they were going with, which would have been a very creepy way to do the Joker.
He still could be. He still very well could be. We haven't seen fuck all or even heard his voice. All we have is a picture. And remember, the first picture that came out for The Dark Knight of the Joker was like a really up-close shot of his face and shit lighting. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Well, it's true because I think of all the DC films, I think Suicide Squad I'm the most interested in, but the more I hear about it, like, they're overstuffing it with villains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I hope that at most they're just cameos, they're just appearances, they're just like, oh, here's them in their cells and here's our core group.
Pretty much.
And, although
we shall see.
Because DC obviously knows what they're doing.
Do they? Do they really?
Hey,
I think the Batsuit looks pretty cool, at least. I think they nailed the look of Batman.
But, I mean, come on.
Does it bleed?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this.
So basically, the end-all, be-all of this is, why the fuck are you guys still have Zack Snyder?
Because Superman, Man of Steel made over $1 billion.
Did it?
Yep.
Did it? Really? Man of Steel?
Worldwide.
Well, you know what? Transformers also made $1 billion, so...
Yeah, and Dane Cook was popular at one time. So was Carlos Mencia.
I think Dane Cook still sells out, like, college, like, stadiums and stuff like that. So.
College kids are stupid. I mean...
Man of Steel grossed worldwide $668 million. I was wrong.
600. That's still man, I wish I could get $660 million.
It's still triple its budget, almost triple its budget.
Yeah, it's still very impressive.
And that's just with Superman.
Yeah.
Oh god, and we all know that the American public and the world public itself has such a bad boner over everything. So it's like
yeah.
this Batman versus Superman Dong of Justice is definitely gonna make a shit ton of money.
All right, so what else do we have? Oh, we have two other things, one of which I don't feel right in talking about. So we could do that, or we can do the other thing.
Which one?
So
Oh,
we talked
right.
about Mass Effect, the Star Trek Next Generation.
All right, we're gonna do Mass Effect. All
The
right,
next
so
Well,
leaked server.
also, wait,
Oh,
guys, wait. Also, I just want to tell you guys, what's his face? Alan wants to come on at some point, like pretty soon.
we're almost done.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm like, shit. Yeah, we are almost done.
Just tell them we're almost done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, blah, 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 reset. Survey got leaked from BioWare, which was a survey about possible things people want to see in the next Mass Effect game, and it gave sort of a description of what the game's going to be about, what it's going to be like. So I'm just going to read this chunk paragraph, and we'll go from there.
All right. Alan's coming on. He's asking, can you please send me in? I'm like, all right, fine, fuck it.
All right. Well, I'm just going to start reading this.
All right, fair enough.
The next Mass Effect game takes place in the Helios Cluster, a cluster of hundreds of solar systems in the Andromeda Galaxy, far removed from the time and space from Commander Shepard's heroic acts in the final events of the Mass Effect trilogy. You are a Pathfinder, a combat-trained but untested explorer leading an expedition into the Helios Cluster to establish a new home for humanity. As you explore the sprawling series of solar systems, over 4 times the size of Mass Effect 3, collecting resources and building colonies, you will encounter the savagery of untamed lands in the form of cutthroat outlaws and warring alien races. To survive and colonize the wild reaches of space, you will need to grow your arsenal, your ship, your crew, and make strategic and often uneasy alliances to fight the increasingly menacing foes. Along the way, you will encounter the remains of a once powerful and mysterious alien race, the Remnant, whose forgotten technology holds the key to gaining power in the region of the galaxy. As you uncover who the Remnant were and the mysteries their ruins contain, you are drawn into a violent race to find the source of their forgotten technology that will determine the fate of humanity. Good God, that sounds a lot like Mass Effect.
Yes, it does.
Jesus Christ, people. We're doing another ancient alien race again?
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were like, yay, we're doing this. But no, you sound more like, oh.
Well, like the other things sound awesome. Going into untamed territory, fucking making alliances, meeting new aliens. That all sounds awesome. And then you get to the point where it's like an ancient alien race, and you have to use their technology to expose it. That's the exact same plot as the first games.
Yeah.
Substitute Reapers with Remnant. It's the exact same letter.
Or Protheans with
Protheans, yeah.
Yeah.
So
this whole Star Trek Mass Effect angle they're going for, I'm game for. But cut out that fucking ancient race bullshit. What is this like? What sci-fi game nowadays doesn't have an ancient alien race in it?
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, it's like, it's kind of funny because if you look on the internet, there's like this graph of all the BioWare games and all their plot lines, and it's like, here's a check mark for every trope that they hit, like all the time, and it's like, the hero who has to go on the journey because he got kicked out, check. The surprise twist in the middle of the game, check.
So wait. So from what I understand, so they're totally going to go to the Gamma Quadrant and they're going to meet the founders and then fight the Jem'Hadar. That's what's happening, right? It's Star Trek Deep Space Nine at this point, right? I'm just curious, when is my boy Benjamin Sisko showing up? Because that dude's a badass motherfucker.
Yeah, until he lost his mind and.
So wait, is this where he teleported at the end of the show?
Spoilers. I don't know. Shit.
Yeah, it just sounds like I don't know.
I mean,
It sounds okay, and I mean, honestly, I can't really make a judgment because it's like this is like a plot synopsis,
it's a
really.
vague description on a survey that wasn't even supposed to be released to the public.
Exactly. Like, this is a plot synopsis, really.
Yeah.
You guys know what other game franchise had an ancient alien race?
all of them.
Jak and Daxter.
That's actually, yeah. What? So you want to make this like the Jak and Dexter version now? Where
Yeah, when they're gonna make a new Jak and Daxter, I am supremely interested.
Is that one of those franchises that's like it's held up by like it's partially owned by another else like Crash Bandicoot, where it's like owned by Activision but not at the same time, so they aren't going to make a new game?
I have no clue.
I know it's not. Was it Naughty Dog that was making those games?
Yeah.
I believe so. I think that's what I'm thinking. Yeah, it's like Naughty Dog makes it, but Activision published it, so they own the rights to it technically, so they have to want to make another one. And is Naughty Dog owned by Sony now, or are they just like they're just the person they go to first?
I think they might be owned. Let me see, Naughty Dog.
But I mean, I think we still need to wait because, we all know how Naughty Dog production cycle works. They make 3 games and then they make a racing. We're still waiting on the Uncharted racing game and 2 more games.
Yeah, so they were acquired by Sony Computer Entertainment in 2000.
Yeah, so that would have to be another cross publishing deal between Activision and Sony.
Right.
What about the Last of Us racing game?
Hey, we still need 2 more sequels to that before we get a racing game.
I'd be down for that.
Jump it straight to the racing game, where it's everybody are just broken down sedans, just fighting for their lives.
It's just going to be the Mad Max game, but probably better than it.
Right?
Well, Ellie's got her driver's license, and now a deranged, what's that fucker's name? Main character guy.
Joel
is just chasing her across the country.
Yeah.
Come back, my sweet.
So it's the Cannonball Run with clickers.
And then and then we're gonna finally see Joel driving a monster truck playing guitar. He's finally gonna play the goddamn guitar after being promised throughout the whole game.
I guess it's the Cannonball Run if that has to deal with, like, abducting a child. I don't know. I don't know
what version of the movie you were watching.
I haven't seen it.
But anyway, I mean, Crash Band. I honestly, I played some of the Jak and Daxter games. I think I played I really liked the second and the third one. I wasn't a big fan of the first one, so I would like to see that come back. But anyway, regarding Mass Effect, as we all can clearly tell, is my favorite video game franchise. So I'm excited to see that. I'm less excited about the Ancient Aliens because that is such a science fiction cliche at this point. But I do like how they're making it sound very much more Star Trek-y with like the expedition and all that other fine stuff. But I'm really interested where they're going. I like this. Like, I hope it's so far enough in the future we don't really see the consequences of Mass Effect.
Yeah, I was going to say, I like that they're making it a point to separate it as far as they can from the other.
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
I would think, where it's like, you kind of have to separate it as far as you possibly can, so that way you can't really make it to where it's like, oh, yeah, this one shitty ending is canon, or this one other shitty ending is canon, or this third shitty ending is canon.
We're all robot people now. That's the real one.
We're all green in the dark.
Yeah,
that's the one I chose.
We're all going to have sex with vending machines.
We're all going to have
ending.
Robot Trisha Helfer. Come on.
No thanks.
Ooh, I'm totally game for this. Where do I sign up?
Glow green in the dark. It's really fun when you're
trying to fall asleep.
Yeah, it's really fun when you're trying to fall asleep.
I think there was like a Battlestar Galactica miniseries that took place where Trisha Helfer's like Cylon robot version of her was actually dressed up like a skimpy prostitute. So I'm down for that. But anyway. I wonder, like, if there are going to be any callbacks to the original games, or...
Oh, of course they're going to be.
Yeah, duh. Yeah,
Garrus is going to walk into the room smoking a cigar and then say a one-liner. I'm back, baby, and nobody knows who he is.
Liara and...
Stare at the camera.
Yeah, what alien race survives the longest?
It's
Like,
Liara's race.
No. The Krogans and the Asari are the people that survive the longest.
So we'll probably see one or two characters from, depending on how far in the future it is, but we'll most likely maybe we'll see like, oh, Rex is like the leader of the Krogans now, or Grunt or whatever, and then like Liara will show up or something.
They pay Seth Green again, and Joker pops up to fly your operation.
He's an AI.
The only character you still see alive is Captain Kirihee. He's the only guy to survive this whole time.
It's that Asian woman that you get to punch in the face.
Oh, apparently they're bringing back the fucking Mako.
Oh yeah, they made a big deal about that.
Yeah.
I hope they make the mechanics better. It won't be bad. I mean, right now I'm imagining something like, I don't know, a cool kind of Sid Meier's Pirates game, but in space, which is what I always wanted. But who knows? They always talk up games and their features a lot before they get released. So.
Well, I think that's kind of the point of what you're supposed to do to pimp out your game is praise the shit that you make.
But then, like, not everything is as fleshed out as it would seem.
No, that is true.
Or as they pitched it, you know, like a huge open world, and then it's like Witcher 2, where it's kind of just these moderately sized levels, not really an open world.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, but to be fair, from what we see so far of The Witcher 3, it's definitely an open world.
Yeah, I hope, but I wasn't critiquing Witcher 3. I was just being a little dubious about this.
Yeah, when you say 4 times the size of Mass Effect 3, I don't really recall Mass Effect 3 being that huge of a game.
No,
I mean, it was expansive, but it wasn't like, I wasn't going like, oh my god!
Yeah, it was the same.
You could just, like, added more planets to go mine resources on, you know?
Yeah, it could be like how they probably will do some of the, like, what they did with, like, the level design for, like, Dragon Age Inquisition, to bring that more into, like, a Mass Effect style.
Because, like, Mass Effect 3 wasn't really open world. I mean, it was like...
No.
It was like, oh, get this one section,
go through...
games
have been open world.
Yeah,
really.
none of them have actually been open world. It was like, you have this one section, you go through here, wait for the loading screen, go through this section, and you know, there you go. Calgary Expo.
All I know is I'm excited, and maybe I'm the only one still excited, but I just can't wait to see what happens with Mass Effect 4. And I wonder, I hope, for the love of God, we don't play human again. I don't want to play as a human.
Well, you know the humans are the most important fucking race out there, apparently.
No, man, I hope that they do what they did with Dragon Inquisition, where you could play a multitude of different races.
Well, then on that same note, like, I'm kind of not excited about this game because of that latest Dragon Age.
Oh yeah, you guys are the two that came down on it.
Well, yeah, there was like a video of just me and Ryan talking.
Just bitching, really?
Bitching for 15 minutes.
No, it wasn't 15 minutes. It was fucking an hour. It was an hour of us complaining.
Well, at that point, at that point, I hadn't finished the game.
Oh, yeah,
right. After I did, it was kind of, I didn't hate it as much as he did, but I saw a lot of his points, and I was a little upset at the ending and how it's another cliffhanger.
Like, we did give some good things about it. We did talk quite a few good things about it. It was just like, the problems that were there.
This has turned into
so big.
Let's justify our bitching of the Dragon Age game. Yeah. Our bitching of it.
No, we just didn't like it.
We don't really need to justify it. It's already justified. So.
Yeah, we just didn't. We didn't like it. It was.
Goggins are in that game. Awesome.
I don't know what he said, so he can go fuck himself. Whatever it was, I assume it was offensive, so he can go fuck himself. No, I'm kidding.
I'm talking about that. I'm just justified, baby.
Alright, whatever.
Renato, why do you always look like you're struggling to work technology in your pictures?
Because I am, goddammit.
How do I take a picture here?
No, it's because...
Oh, shit!
What's this red light doing?
It's mostly because when I put the picture up, it was more farther back with Skype. It compacts the picture, and I didn't bother to take a new one because I was like, fuck it.
Well, it's not like you're exactly smiling. I wasn't really talking about the field of view.
Oh.
This is what's
you know what's great podcast material? It's talking about visual aids.
Yeah, no, I was just about to say this.
So should we Mass Effect 4, we're hopeful. Don't like the alien old race thing, but who knows?
Yeah.
Game probably won't even come out till like 2017.
If they're gonna keep the Mako thing, I might not look forward to that. I mean,
Unless they improve it. I mean,
unless they improve it.
I didn't hate the Mako. It was kind of fun.
I thought it was boring. It was so boring. It was kind
gets
of
boring.
It wasn't
if you do
really
it
the
all.
Mako's fault. It was just a matter of, it was like, here's this huge fucking open world, and every fucking, and 2% of it is covered with things to actually do.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it's all just like palette swap of the previous open area you could explore with the Mako.
What was it, like mining resources and earthworms or something? Like giant...
Shooting earthworms, and occasionally you'll come across the exact same down ship.
Yeah.
Just Thresher mods out of nowhere. But I thought in Mass Effect 2 the Hammerhead sections were actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Well, but there were like not that many, weren't there? Like compared to the Mako, like there were only like a few.
There were like
because it was as a response of people not liking the Mako sections, I'm sure.
Well, I think you could use a Hammerhead for like 7 missions or 6 in Mass Effect 2.
Right.
Not
That was
bad.
it.
Yeah, but that's not a bad like amount either.
What was the Hammerhead? What did it resemble?
It was like the
completely
Mako but
forget.
flew,
Oh, okay.
basically. I mean,
Jump jets.
It's what damage.
yeah. And that was really it. It was the Mako, but it was able to fly or float.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we move on?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I shall recuse myself from this next topic.
Right, yeah. We're talking about Mad Max, right?
Yeah, I would
Okay,
assume so.
okay, I was just making sure. So yeah, Mad Max trailer, the gameplay trailer. I think like one of the first, or the first, came out yesterday, I believe.
Yes.
All right,
2 days ago.
2 days ago. My bad.
So excited for Mad Max Shadow of Mordor. It looked really fun to play.
Shadow of Mordor.
I mean, it kind of looks.
Is he
weird.
possessed
The
by
graphics
some
look
Australian
kinda dated.
spirit or something?
He keeps talking about he wants to kill a pack of crazy people.
Oh,
He's like, I want to kill.
So it's Mel Gibson running around in the wasteland with the spirit of Hitler inside him, just committing atrocities and...
He keeps yelling at all of the Wastelanders, just smile and blow me. It's really off-putting.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, here's my message for the people who make this game. Divert all your resources from making trailers to releasing it. I want to play the game. Thank you.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not really a big fan of Mad Max. Like, I came in watching those. I think the only movies that I watched with Mad Max were the second and third one.
Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
For sure don't watch the first one. For sure don't watch the first one.
Yeah, I thought it was great when he said that this is my boomstick.
Oh, great. This is riveting.
Jesus.
Or when-
Well, it's like, okay, what is it? It looks to have the same combat as like Batman Arkham City or Arkham Asylum.
Does it? Oh.
That's what I'm guessing. I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like you basically get fucked over, get your car jacked, and you build a new car from scratch by adding like a whole bunch of different things. And it looks...
And then eventually you walk into a room and counter like 20 people standing around for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
So
And then
one thing I'm
every time
worried
he
about
enters the room, he goes,
is,
Mad Max bitches! I don't know.
So one thing I'm worried about is this is developed by Avalanche Games or Avalanche Studios, whatever. Isn't Just Cause 3 coming out this year too? So is this their B team making Mad Max and they have their A team making Just Cause 3? So it's like they're putting out 2 potentially AAA games in the same year. Which one of those is going to suffer as a result of that? Because I want this Mad Max game to be good, but I would much rather the Just Cause 3 be good.
Oh yeah, like I would much if I had to choose between the two, I'd probably go with Just Cause 3.
Just Cause 2 was a really fun game and like really well optimized for an open world game on PC, but I don't really give a shit.
Enormous.
I don't really give a shit about the storyline of that game at all. It was just a shit show.
No. You don't
whole
go into
time.
Just Cause looking for a good story.
Oh no, God no.
But in both cases, in 1 and 2, then I played the game for like 5 hours and then I got kind of bored of it, just walking around destroying shit. So I don't know. I hope Mad Max would have a good story and a good gameplay, but
by the story of Rico and Discount Bruce Campbell.
I couldn't even tell you the name of one character.
Bruce Campbell / George Bush, because you cannot tell me that dude wasn't doing a George Bush impression.
He was, who was the actor in W?
Josh Brolin.
He was doing his Josh Brolin impression of W.
He's just going to be Thanos in Just Cause 3.
Your politics bore me.
That'd be interesting.
I can't wait to see him dancing terribly with a bunch of Jamaicans.
The only gameplay I saw of Mad Max was like this badass driving sequence where like all the sand was flying up and the physics of the cars looked amazing, and then you'd shoot people inside your car. And now you're telling me there's fucking Assassin's Creed combat in this game? Ugh.
Well, at least we know. At least they ditched the last gen versions, so at least they're trying to make it.
This is funny. It has like the same kind of locked in development affliction as the movie that's coming out. Like these were all announced a long time ago, have not come out yet.
Yeah,
and have been also been switched around and stuff. Like I don't know.
Yeah, like I think Avalanche, from we've seen in their previous work, they could make a good Mad Max game, but I think it was more one of those like, okay, to do Just Cause 3, you also got to do Mad Max or some weird.
It was their mother. If you're gonna do Just Cause, you gotta eat your meat and potatoes too, which is Mad Max. Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta deal with the shit first.
You gotta deal with this shit. You gotta clean up your room.
I wouldn't doubt, as Charles said, their beat to do this because, I mean, the car stuff looks pretty cool, but when you go to their combat, it's like they just took the mechanics of Shadow of Mordor and Batman and just repurposed them for this because it doesn't really look inspired. The animation we saw just kind of basic, and I don't know, the way that the combat flowed, there wasn't any real thud to it or real impact to it. It just felt kind of really generic.
Can I have a gun?
They said in the trailer, I think, that there are weapons and guns, but ammo is extremely limited.
Yeah.
And
So
it
that
seems
means
like
I'm just going to be mashing the counter button more than anything. That sucks.
Is it me, or does the graphics look kind of meh?
I think, yeah, the character graphics look kind of meh, but the environmental graphics look pretty good from what I saw.
I would love it if it was like the graphics were like on the level of Mortal Kombat 10. Where it's like,
Oh, yeah.
Because I've been playing Mortal Kombat 10, and it's like, god damn, the weather and the backgrounds and everything look just fan-freaking
Well,
nasty.
fighting games, they only really have to work in a small little spectrum, so they can use all the engine power to refine the shit out of how good it looks.
But still,
when you have an open world game, you gotta spread some stuff around.
No, that is true.
The most impressive effects in MKX is Kano's back sweat. It's one of the most impressive.
Yeah.
Hey, Alan's just like, damn, that back sweat though.
Man,
that shit.
Yeah.
The tits on Katana.
The tits on that hunky Australian. Oh.
And so, guys, imagine this: beach volleyball 3, or whatever number they're on.
Oh, that'd be the bloodiest, goriest beach volleyball game ever. Because it'd be Melina spikes the ball, takes off Johnny's head.
Jesus.
You know what? Yeah, I'd play that.
Pretty sure the characters would just start killing each other and full go with the volleyball.
You got Scorpion taking the fucking volleyball net, strangling Sub-Zero.
Sub-Zero can freeze the ball midair to set up a perfect spike. That's so true.
Every time I look at Johnny Cage's fucking chest tattoo, I'm wondering, should I just get a chest tattoo of Fernando Rodriguez? And then I realize I think my name's a little too big to fit on my chest.
It's in 2 columns.
Oh my god, if you did that.
It goes Fernand,
God, I would
and then
just give you so much
Rodriguez.
Dude, bitches love chest tattoos.
Yeah, keyword in there were bitches.
Well, then get a giant winged gorilla or something screaming. Don't get your name.
No, I should be basic and just get a phoenix.
Phoenix, yeah. Get like a very angry turkey.
You get fucking, you get what all those other douchebags do, where it's like you get the Japanese letters, and it's like Commuinity when it really means dumb fuck.
Yeah, get kanji and tribal tattoos on your neck.
Okay, wait. Speaking of tribal tattoos, I don't know if you guys ever seen Stephen DeKnight, but that motherfucker has a shit ton of tribal tattoos all across his arms.
Oh, Jesus, are you serious?
Yeah.
Which one? Who?
Stephen
He's
DeKnight,
the showrunner who took over Daredevil from Drew Goddard, but is now not doing it anymore for season 2.
Huh.
Get a bit of barbed wire around one arm. You know? Look hard.
Oh, yes, he does. Good God. Look at those tattoos.
No,
once again, visual aids, great podcasting.
I was excited about Mad Max, and now
If
this
you
news is
sent
kind
me
of
these, I could easily put the pictures up. You know?
the pictures of random
No,
people's
on the
tattoos.
podcast, yeah, because I do video, so it's like
I'll zoom in on Kano's back just to really drive that point home. Look how much glistening it is. He perfectly animates back fat.
Alan shirtless with his back sweat, and Kano.
Alan is like, excuse me, I have to go a minute. Need
I
the
have to go.
bathroom. Yeah, Kano. Yeah, that back sweat.
Yeah,
No,
he's
no,
older
no.
now,
Keep
so he's
doing
got
your
some-
impression of Alan jerking off. I want to hear more.
He's older now, so he's carrying more weight with him, and they've perfectly animated that. It's really admirable what they've done
I
here.
just love how Alan's like, I'm focusing on Kano, not Melina, Katana.
I mean, come on. Melina is the dictionary version of Butterface.
Fuck those bitches. It's all about the men. Come on,
I'm
they're
just
the real
wondering,
heroes.
at a certain
Is
point,
anyone really surprised that Alan's into bears?
Hell no.
well, I mean, Alan's kind of a bear.
Fantastic.
About it. You would think he would focus on he needed a twink or a cub more than anything else.
Yeah, because the girly man character in Mortal Kombat. Where's he? Johnny Cage? Not really. I mean, he's just kind of a dumbass.
I thought you'd be more loud. Is what's his fucking noise he makes?
Which one?
The Bruce Lee copy.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's him. Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, oh, make you go. I can't do it.
Yeah. That guy.
Jesus
Liu
Christ.
Kang.
My favorite sounds are the random, voice, it's clearly a different voice actor or sound clip used from the older Mortal Kombat. So it's like,
Oh, yeah,
Raiden
like
comes on and he's like, I will destroy you. And then he does his flying attack and he goes, Huzalala! It's like, what? Who? That's clearly not his voice.
Yeah, or it's like, Scorpion, the get over here, because they keep reusing the exact same guy.
Yeah, it's just one voice clip for the whole
And then you got Steve Blum as a Sub-Zero.
I was so upset. I'm like, I'm going to try Sub-Zero. And it's like, you cannot stop me. And I'm like,
I don't think he does that bad. I think he's alright.
Well, I just hate Steve Blum generally.
Really?
It's just
You must hate
everywhere.
every single animated or video game thing ever created, because I'll be goddamned if you can find one popular thing that Steve Blum isn't a part of.
Oh yeah, like Steve Blum.
That's why I hate him. He's everywhere. I can't get away from this fucker.
But
honestly.
one thing you can't say is that he's a lazy fucker, because he is in everything. He works the fuck.
Oh yeah, sure. That, to my detriment, he's very driven. Thanks. What was that game? The game with the moving suit where you slide around in space and shoot things. They played it on Vanquish. He's a sergeant in there, and I had to turn the game off. The writing was so bad, and his delivery was equally bad. I was like, "The fuck is this? I'm not playing this anymore."
So
use the rocket launcher to send those pricks back to hell.
Instead of talking about Mad Max, we're going to talk about Steve Blum and Mortal Kombat.
Fuck Steve Blum. I think I've said it before, but Jesus.
To get Steve Blum's voice, you have to smoke a shit ton of cigars every day and drink a lot of scotch and whiskey.
Yeah.
He's probably not. Like when he did Cowboy Bebop, when he did Spike Spiegel, he was 28 or something. Like Jesus, he was just always.
That.
His voice was a little
voices
better.
I think he's no one else should do except him. Is like you just said, Spike Spiegel and Wolverine. He
Yeah.
is
I listen to
fucking
the Sons.
perfect for Wolverine.
Oh yeah, he's fantastic in Wolverine. I mean, just listen to him in Wolverine and the X-Men, and yeah, he does a perfect job.
He does Wolverine in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and yeah, I can't really complain because the gravelly
He's
voice
perfect.
Yeah,
it does suit it.
yeah, it's him, and there's another guy who does there's like 3 voice actors,
Weapon
3
X.
male voice actors that are like in everything. It's Steve Blum, Troy Baker now, and the other dude who was, you know what I'm talking about? What's his name?
Yeah, everyone knows what you're talking about.
Fucking.
I'm trying. He voices Nathan Drake.
Yeah,
but
that's what I'm
not
gonna
his
say.
name.
Yeah.
Nolan North guy.
Nolan
North, yeah.
I knew he was an N. And the female equivalent of all them is Jennifer Hale.
Yeah, Jennifer Hale, and there's another female actress,
Claudia
Tara
Black.
Strong.
Claudia Black and
Yeah,
Tara Strong.
And Tara Strong.
Tara Strong, not really anymore. She
She
seems
does the
to
high
pretty.
pitched voices.
But back
right?
in the day, she was like every.
Oh yeah,
fucking-
like fucking early 2000s Cartoon Network. That was all Tara Strong.
Oh yeah, it was all her, and then it was like.
She does the like girls' voices, right?
And then
Yeah.
it's
Like the small girl.
Phil.
She's in
Bubbles.
Mortal Kombat. She's in Mortal Kombat X. She's that little fucker on that big
The
fucker.
little midget girl with the big retard guy.
I swear to God, that's
That's
Tara Strong.
And then
And Tara Strong
and then
also
there's
does
like
Awesome
and then
Children.
it's Phil Lamar. Who's also
Oh yeah,
John
fucking
DiMaggio, Billy West, obviously.
Phil Lamar isn't Phil Lamar Marvin?
Yeah, he was also Samurai Jack. He was Static
John
Shock.
He
He
was
did a
also-
lot.
in Just
Jesus.
Yeah, like that.
Go to
yeah,
her.
like those are the guys who've done like so much. Those are the people who've done like so much voice acting and stuff. He was
So it
he
has
was the
like
guy in Infamous.
Jennifer Hale was Tanya in Mortal Kombat X.
Oh yeah, yeah. But Phil Lamar, he was the guy in Infamous 2.
okay, he was the
Shaun White.
John White. There you go.
Yeah, he was him.
Well, he'll never top his role as either Hermes in Futurama or getting shot in the face by John Travolta in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah, I forgot that was him.
But I don't know.
He was
I really
vamping
like
Metal
his
Gear
John
Solid
Stewart.
also.
John Stewart was really good. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he is Jon Stewart, isn't he?
Yep. And he's
I need to
also
rewatch Justice
always
League.
he's
Okay.
always the high pitched blackmail in every DC comic. He's like, yo man.
I forgot the other guy, the other dude, Kevin Michael Richardson.
Oh yeah, that's right.
The
He's
big
yeah.
black bald dude who is in
He was
everything.
the Joker in the Batman, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was the Ray Gay Joker, pretty much. That was so awful.
So we've gone from Mad Max to voice actors.
He was the turtle. He was the lion turtle in
You know, you might
Last
say,
Airbender.
Ryan, you might say that the Batman was awful. You have not seen Beware the Batman. Now that was truly
Oh,
awful.
I've seen that, and even then, I would say no. The Batman was pretty fucking bad.
Jesus Christ, Tara Strong has between like animation, TV, direct-to-video, movies, and video games, she has like 10,000 things she's done.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
her, Gray Delisle, D. Bradley Baker. Those guys are the ones that are like they're in everything. Kevin Michael Richardson, he did Demongo, the fucking the dude who took essence and souls in Samurai Jack. With the
As long as I
heightened
can't-
voice.
As long as I can't immediately identify it's them, like Steve Blum, I won't hate on them. But every time that fucking guy opens his mouth into the mic and the character sounds all gravelly like that, it's like, ugh. God damn it.
Yeah. Whoa, wait, what? What the fuck? Oh.
What?
Oh no, I was looking through good old games. Because I was thinking of buying The Witcher 3 on good old games, because I've been really getting into good old games, and I wonder how many times I can say good old games.
Fall Guys.
Are they the sponsor of this podcast? Otherwise, shut up.
Well, it's them and Amazon Prime, so.
And Audible.com.
Yeah, those are the two. It's Audible.com and, what is it, Loot
Stamps.com.
Crate now.
And Squarespace.
Yeah, and
And
Loot Crate.
Squarespace.
What the website needs. And
And
also
Fleshlight. Fleshlight sponsors the podcast. Buy a Fleshlight in our name. Have fun. Steve
So
Blum always
I don't know if
thinks
you guys got
Valentine.
anything else. One last thing I want to throw out is the guy who created Assassin's Creed, Patrice Désilets. He finally revealed his new game after rejoining Ubisoft and then getting fired from Ubisoft
Poutine
again.
Simulator. It was Poutine Simulator.
It's called Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey.
Okay.
Yeah, not a great name.
I'm for All Smoked Meat Edition.
Yeah, try saying that like 10 times fast, you know?
He describes it as a short, episodic-ish AAA games. Huh.
What?
So,
All right.
yeah.
Is this one fine with
So like
episodic
Assassin's
games
Creed?
with AAA quality, which I'm sure that will go over well.
It's fine with set in Asia. That's the real question.
All he says it's a third-person action-adventure survival episodic game. That's all he said about it.
Yeah. All right. I guess that's really it.
And
Yeah.
it's working with Peter Molyneux, so it's going to turn out epic.
If Peter Molyneux sells me that game, I'll buy it. Just with his fancy British accent and mannerisms, he'll just.
But if he sounded like Steve Blum, fuck him.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he's gonna bring back Milo to help him pitch the game to everyone. Milo, have you been enjoying the whatever Poutine Simulator? Just fucking, I don't know. Milo kills one of those little connectimals or something.
I'm just having a great time killing all the Jews, Peter. Oh God! We're fixing that. So we're gonna get it in post.
I was thinking he's petting like a connectimal, like a little tiger baby, and then he just cracks its neck. Just
Originally, Milo's name was Mel. I don't know if that's a lesser known thing, but you know.
It's fucking hilarious.
Mel.
Okay, well, with that said,
Mel.
I guess that's it. So, thank you. I'm Ryan Graff. With me has been Alan Subasic.
yeah, for a little bit.
Charles Armstrong.
Ayo.
And really, that's it.
And no one else. Bye.
No, and Fernando Rodriguez.
This is some bullshit. I'm going to call my lawyer.
And special guest star. You're like Edward Herman on every episode of Gilmore Girls, even though he's a fucking returning character, just like, and special guest.
Special guest.
Yeah.
Your three regular hosts, Charles Armstrong, Ryan Graff, and Alan Savasic, and one special guest we can't guarantee he'll be here next week, Fernando Rodriguez.
He's only here for affirmative action, folks.
Well,
Yeah, our lawyers said we had to bring him on, so.
I was going to say it, but no, it's out there.
We have just as many minorities on the podcast as Rachel Egg does.
Yeah, before next podcast, we gotta teach him how to use a camera, so that'll happen. All right, thanks everyone. Bye.